Welcome back to our channel, Talk on This. If you are new, welcome. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell for more videos just like this. Leave us a comment. We love feedback on this channel. Also give us a thumbs up if you enjoy this episode. Let's talk about this. What happened to Delano Burkes? Now, this was a 26-year-old young man, a former football player with Texas A&M. He owned his own real estate investment company. He was married to his beautiful wife Autumn, who has known him, or who she had known since the age of 13. This young man was seen stumbling from McIntyre's bar in the Houston Heights in the early morning of November 13th. What happened to this young man? He disappeared and was found, subsequently found floating dead in the Houston Ship Channel, 15 miles from where he was last seen at McIntyre's bar. Anyway, let's get into it. I want you guys to see a few clips and of this whole crazy case, and then we will get right into it. Take a look at these clips.
Sunday morning.
It's been hard because you're trying to keep going and think positive, but then reality starts to set in.
His wife Autumn and mother Karen Jeffley say they knew something was wrong that day when they hadn't heard from Burkes.
He just didn't call, so that's not like him at all.
According to his family, Delano had gone out Saturday night with friends. One of those friends, they say, was driving Delano's car when they pulled over in a restaurant parking lot near Beavis and West 19th and 20th Streets in the Heights. That's when they say Delano went next door to McIntyre's to use the bathroom. They say this video they obtained shows Delano exiting McIntyre's after he was asked to leave, then appearing to run and stumble in videos they shared with us from more nearby businesses.
I was wondering if somebody was chasing him.
And according to the family, those friends Delano was with left without him.
His friends had his car, so it wouldn't have been like him to, when his friends called, they said he had already been gone for a whole day and he didn't call them to retrieve his car.
Delano's phone, they say, ran out of battery, and he also didn't have an ID. And now they're turning to the community for any help they can provide.
This is completely just like not normal.
Begin with the family's urgent search to bring a loved one back home. Take a look at this video. This video's just released tonight. Here you're looking at Delano Burkes, and he has not been home since Sunday, November 13th. He was last seen leaving McIntyre's, a bar in the Houston Heights area, and that's just outside of McIntyre's. His mother, Karen Jeffley, joins us here in the studio tonight to talk about this. When you took a look at that video, and I said, what's going on there? It looks like he's running. What's happening there?
So he's being escorted out at that point. I guess he was drunk, and they took him to the side door and told him he needed to leave.
And you haven't seen, the last time you saw your son was the 13th.
Correct.
And what have you been able to gather by talking to people, looking at various surveillance videos to piece together that night?
So there was more than just liquor in him. We think he was drugged. He is not himself. We think maybe he was being followed. We don't know. He just kind of disappeared.
And so what are investigators saying to you, if anything?
Interestingly, the HPD has a small investigation unit, so it's just going along in its protocol. So we've got our own people too, and we're out there right now.
Now, do you know if he had anyone who would want to drug him, anyone who would want to take advantage of him at all?
No, I don't, but it's just the times that we're in right now, and the different things that we have, that sinister stuff that goes on that, you know, we can't rule out.
Do you know the last person that he talked to?
Yeah, he was there with his friend, which his friend left him there at the club, so at the bar. And from what we're understanding, that's the very last person that he spoke to, besides the bouncers there.
And so EquiSearch also did a search today.
Right.
Well, obviously, they found nothing, and that's good news for you, because they took out cadaver dogs
Absolutely.
to look for remains, almost like a recovery now.
Right.
But that's good news for you. I couldn't even imagine what this feels like, to have your son, your child out there, and you don't know where he is.
Right, exactly. Well, we've been surviving on adrenaline at this point. So hardly no sleep. Like I said, we're out there right now. We've got a crew out there. I've been asleep out there just looking for him. Well, wherever he is, he's not in his right mind, because he had a cell phone on. If he's out there.
And is a cell phone now going straight to voicemail?
Yeah, it went to voicemail that night. It started going to voicemail
may have run out of
night.
charge then.
Possibly, right, possibly. But we've got to go through a certain protocol in order to get the ping for us to find out where he was last.
And have you had a lot of support from his friends?
Some support. Some support.
You'd like more, I'm sure.
Well,
or at least assistance.
He's had a lot of support. We've had a lot of support from his church and from just his family. So, yeah, we've had, I think this weekend we had 90 people one day, 60 people another day.
And what's next for you now? Do you go back out? Obviously, you're dressed up and ready to hit the streets again to continue the search.
Absolutely.
Have you remained just in the Heights area, or have you expanded the perimeter?
So we've gotten tips. So each of our tips we've actually gone to. So we'll move a crew there and we'll search. We'll move a crew and we'll search. So we're following our tips. We are doing that, but we are still in the Heights. We do still have our hub in the Heights.
And guys, let's put up his picture, because that's most important in case someone sees him out there. And for you, tell us as a mother how important this man is to you.
That is my baby. That is my youngest son. We just need to find him. If he's, I mean, it's possible that he's just still out there. It's possible that, you know, there's so many things that negative things, but I'm just going to focus on the possibility that he's still out there, even though it's been 7 days, 8 days.
And of course, if you have any information, contact the Houston Police Department or family members or Crime Stoppers, whomever, if you see this man on the streets of Houston. Even if he may not appear to be in his right mind, please call the cops or at least get in touch with his family.
Yes, that would be the, if he's not in his right mind, that is the best outcome that we can have right now to finding him, because we know he knows numbers and all of those things. So if anybody sees him, if they could take a picture of it, and we have a Facebook and an Instagram, Finding Delano, which is DELANO, and just post it there. That'll kind of help us so we don't have to, you know, keep running around and basically trying to discover whether that's him or not, because we've had a lot of all of our leads have been dead-end leads. They're just not him.
All right. Well, we want to wish you the best, and thank you for coming on The Factor Uncensored. And like we said, if you see anything out there, contact the police, family members, whomever you can to help get him home. Thank you, guys. We'll be
It's been more than a week since a Houston man vanished after leaving a popular Heights bar. And now there is a $5,000 reward for any information which leads to answers in the disappearance of 26-year-old Delano Burkes. ABC 13's Daniela Hurtado spoke to law enforcement and the man's family as their search continues tonight. Daniela?
Gina, Eric, they just want to find Delano Burke. It's now been nearly 10 days since he was last seen in this area, actually leaving McIntyre's here in the Heights. His mother tells me he was out here with several friends, and those friends didn't look for him that night, according to his mother. They also left in his car. And I'm also told tonight, just moments ago, by Delano's mother, that those same friends helped search for him on Wednesday, days after his disappearance from here. It's been nearly 10 days since the family of Delano Burkes has seen him or heard from him. They have been searching everywhere for the 26-year-old. The mission to find him continues tonight as they partner with Crime Stoppers and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee.
Someone saw him, and someone can tell what happened to him.
This video of Delano Burkes shows him leaving McIntyre's in the Heights in the early hours of November 13th. Other video captured him walking through the Heights seemingly in distress.
We believe that it was something sinister that happened with him. He did not look like he had control of his legs. It did not look like he was going to make it very far.
They believe something may have been slipped into his drink that may have led to his disappearance.
We're investigating this case from all possibilities. We certainly cannot rule out the possibility that he wandered off. And we haven't ruled out the fact that there's foul play involved either.
The assistant chief wouldn't go into if they have found the missing man's phone. Their main focus right now is figuring out where Delano is and bringing him home to his wife and family safely.
If you could check your ring footage or any kind of video from 113 on forward to see if you see him, that would be very, very helpful.
If you have any information on this case or have seen this man, you're asked to call the Houston Police Department. In the Heights, Daniela Hurtado, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
I want to make sure that we hear the mom, and then we'll open it up, and I will also end with myself and Andy Kahn, who is here from Crime Stoppers, and we want to thank them very much. I just want to, sometimes the family doesn't say this, but I just want us to be reminded that Mr. Burkes was in the McIntyre's about 1:13 a.m. on the night of the 13th. Mr. Burkes is 26 years old, 5'10", and a big guy at 200 pounds, but he played for the Texas A&M football, and he has his own business, real estate investment. It's not typical and likely that Mr. Burkes would just walk off. And we want the community to know this is someone like their loved one that could in fact be missing. I take this personally. And we deal with a lot of legislation dealing with missing persons on the federal level. And I believe that children, teenagers, and adults should all get the same attention when they're missing. People don't go missing on their own or not lost on their own. And so they may have fallen into danger or gotten sick, but we need to make sure that we're looking for them. And that's the introduction that I want to give to his mom, Karen Jeffley, who is not ceased, and of course his father, Mr. Burkes, who is a loving dad, and of course Autumn as well, who is concerned, and all the brothers and sisters that are here, friends and others that are here. So Karen will now speak. His mom and his dad will stand next to her. Karen? And this is you. You get to come here. You stand almost in front. Okay. They can see him.
Steve's forward to the left also. Okay. And thank you. Thank you. We are asking the public to help us find my son, our family member. Like Mrs. Jackson said, that he is a loved one, that this is very unlike him to disappear like this. The very last time that we saw him, he was leaving outside a bar, and he looked as though he was hurt. So it seems as though he may not have gotten very far. We don't know what direction he went, so we need the public to, especially in that particular area, to check their ring phones, their rings, their cameras, if you have anything like that. It will be around the time of 1:13 a.m. that he went missing, that he ran out of the last view of the very last camera. We don't know which direction that he went. there's so many things out there that could possibly have happened to him. So we are very, we're staying positive. We're staying diligent. We've been out there today. We've been out there every single day since we found out that he was not, he didn't show back up. Should we leave our information or our Facebook, Instagram?
It was generic.
So we have
generic.
Instagram.
It's not your personal site.
No, it's not. It's general. Okay, so we do have an Instagram and a Facebook for him. It's Finding Delano. And you can, we've had a lot of tips. So if anybody has any tips they feel like they've seen him, we've been on a lot of wild goose chases, we feel. So that if anybody sees him, if you could maybe take a picture of him, we still want the tip if you don't have a camera. But if maybe you can take a picture of him and then DM it on Instagram or Facebook, and both of those are Finding Delano. Delano is Delano. You can upload those pictures. There's still a tip line that you can call to, and I'm sure we'll have that available. That way, we're diligently looking for him ourselves. We've got a cruise on the weekends and on the weekdays, and we're not going to stop until we find him. Again, we're staying positive. There's a number of things that could be. If he is he's not in his right mind right now. Is that okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not in his right mind right now because he does have our information. So keep an eye out for that. He would be wearing the same thing that's on the flyer, which is a gray flannel button-down shirt. And he has black curly hair that stands out. Everybody seems to remember that. What else? I just want to make sure I cover everything. But yeah, this isn't like him. He doesn't really go to clubs or anything like that. Or he was with a friend that he hadn't seen in a while. They left him at the club. Of course, it's a cluster of clubs in the Heights area. So, and they had been there for a while because they were watching. I think it was a fight that they were watching. So he was tipsy. So in the video, you can tell he was tipsy, but it also looks like there was more involved. When we feel like he was drugged too. So it's very, very imperative that everybody, the whole community, helps us find him. He could be in a corner. He could be in a hospital. He could be, even though we've actually tried to source out different methods, go different methods to try to find him, it's still a possibility that he's in certain places. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so very much. Does your son want to say anything? Okay. Autumn, thank you. So let me continue then if Mom yielded to you, then we'll do so. So we're going to open it up for questions, and then we're going to hear from, in fact, let me just go ahead and let Andy from Crime Stoppers. We're trying to get more money in the initial announcement of $5,000. I want to thank them. When they get engaged, we get energized even more to get more tips and just outright information. I want outright information that we know where he is.
Yeah. You good? Yeah, I'm Andy Kahn, Director of Victim Services, Crime Stoppers of Houston. I also serve on the board of Texas EquiSearch, and I know they've been helping your family. And again, our hearts and prayers go out to everybody here. We hate meeting people under these circumstances, but know that Crime Stoppers is here for you, and we will always be here for you. And I'll also be talking to EquiSearch as well and see what we can do to help you right now. So right now, Crime Stoppers has an up to a $5,000 reward for any information that's leading up if we presume that there's criminal conduct as to why he went missing. Either way, we want people to contact Crime Stoppers, and you can contact us anonymously. We do not know who you are. We do not want to know who you are. You can contact us at 713-222-TIPS. You can submit a tip online, www.crime-stoppers.org. You can submit a tip via our mobile app, available in over 20 languages. And we know that someone out there in the public knows where Mr. Burkes is, what happened to him. We know somebody out there knows something, and the public is our best eyes and ears out there. So we're asking you to do the right thing and step up to the plate and give this family some answers that they sorely need. So again, Crime Stoppers, up to a $5,000 reward. We need your help. We need you, and you worked with us so many times on so many other cases, and we're asking again, step up right now.
Okay, so as you see, there was an ongoing search for Delano. They were aggressively looking for him. His mom actually started her own search. She had her own team of family and friends looking for him. Now, eventually, 13 days after he went missing, his body was found in the Houston Ship Channel. Now, an investigation is ongoing by the homicide unit of the Houston Police Department, but so far the results of an autopsy have not been disclosed as yet. Now, from the clips you can see that Delano was being thrown out of McIntyre's bar. He was being escorted out, basically, through the side door of McIntyre's bar. Now, what happened to him from the time he went in to the time he was escorted out? What transpired in that bar? Because there are a lot of men, you see in a clip that there were many men following him out and shouting behind him, or you can see that there was some sort of there was like a disagreement or something, some sort of shouting going on, because they were some men actually followed him out of the bar. As you see him walking down, some men actually followed behind him. Now, how far did these men follow him? So this is what we really need to know, and I hope this is obviously being investigated. Delano, there's so many conflicting there's so much conflicting information out there. There was, in one clip, you hear that Delano went out with a bunch of friends. They went bar hopping, and the friends split up, and they eventually left him at McIntyre's bar. In another clip, they said that friends of Delano pulled over into a parking lot because Delano had to use the restroom, so he went over across the street to McIntyre's bar to use the restroom. At that time, he was not seen coming back out, so his friends left, driving his car, okay, which does not make sense. Why would they not go and look for him? Then we see in a clip that his mom spoke about Delano meeting up with a friend. He was out with a friend, and she said they went into McIntyre's bar and they were sitting watching a fight at the bar. It was not specified if this was a female or male friend, but it was a friend whom he had not seen for a while. Now, she said in a clip that this friend, singular, was in the bar with Delano, and they were drinking and they were watching a fight. And at a particular time, I guess at one point, the friend ended up leaving Delano in the bar and drove his car away, leaving him at the bar. Now, why did the friend drive off and leave him at the bar drinking? If he was drinking a lot, he obviously may have obviously become intoxicated and would need a ride home. Was the friend coming back for him? why did he allow the friend to leave in his car and leave him there? How was he going to get home? Did the friend come back? We don't know yet. So there's so much information still needed to be known, and still needs to be known. So much conflicting stories about these so-called friends. Was it how many friends were there? Was it one friend or were there many friends? And why were they driving his car? He went into the bathroom. One story says just went into McIntyre's, used the bathroom. Another story we hear, obviously, from his mom, that he was in the bar actually drinking and watching a fight with a friend who left him. So there are two different stories, and I guess as the investigation unfolds, we hear more stories like this. So, it's a sad situation, but it all resulted in Delano being found in the Houston Ship Channel. Now, we will take a look at a few more clips that I want you to see, and then we will get back with our discussion on this crazy case. So take a look at this other clip, and then we will talk about it.
Now tonight, the desperate search is on for a missing Houston man, and that actually has come to a tragic ending. We're talking about 26-year-old Delano Burkes. Hasn't been seen since he left a bar in the Heights 2 weeks ago. Well, his body was just identified today, found floating in the port of Houston. Fox 26's Matthew Seedorf has been following this story. Matthew, you're live on West 20th Street tonight, where Delano was last seen alive.
Yeah, Rashi, just an awful update with this case. Now that Delano's body has been found, many people are wondering how he got from this bar to a ship channel about 15 miles away. A devastating development in the case of missing person Delano Burkes. Workers on a tugboat finding the 26-year-old's lifeless body near the port of Houston Friday, floating in the water. This surveillance video, the last images we have of Delano alive, here being escorted out of McIntyre's bar, moments later seen mysteriously running, stumbling almost with a limp.
It almost brought me to tears, honestly, to say, because he seemed like he was struggling.
The owner of a real estate investment company, the 26-year-old had been bar hopping with friends that Saturday night 2 weeks ago up and down West 20th Street, and then the friends all split up.
He won't harm anybody. He's that type of person. He doesn't like confrontation.
It is likely a homicide, and that means that the person did not die by natural causes.
Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee has been in close contact with the family, loved ones all hoping to learn how Delano died and how he got to the ship channel.
There may be a lot of information that could help this family have closure and to have comfort in this very difficult time. We want to ask people to continue to help us find out what happened to Delano Burkes.
Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward tonight for information leading to an arrest in this case. If you have any information, call police. We're live in the Heights. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 26 News.
Okay, so we see that Delano's body was found in the Houston Ship Channel. Now, this is interesting because just a few blocks from the bar, from McIntyre's bar, is the White Oak Bayou. Now, the White Oak Bayou feeds into Buffalo Bayou, which meanders its way into the Houston Ship Channel, which is 15 miles from McIntyre's bar where Delano's body was found. So it's possible that maybe he could have been thrown into the White Oak Bayou, and his body just floated into the the Houston Ship Channel. Also, his cell phone was found in bushes nearby. So this was according to his mom. They found his cell phone in bushes nearby. Now, I'm sure he wouldn't throw his cell phone in the bushes. So Obviously, he must have been attacked where his phone was taken from him and then thrown away and discarded. But yet there's still the investigation, and there's just all this is speculation. So this is ongoing. This is just a crazy case, and we have now found out that there has been a recent development in this case, and this recent development is going to blow your mind.
Brother of a
guys.
man whose
Watch this
disappearance
clip
made headlines
and
in
let's talk about
November
it.
is now charged with shooting their mother and killing her fiance. Stephen Burkes appeared before a judge overnight, and a judge set bond at $1 million. Our Rochelle Turner has more on the story, reporting from downtown.
Sources tell KPRC Burkes shot his mother, Karen Jeffley, several times and killed her fiance. Karen remains in the hospital, and the family is asking for prayers. Overnight, Stephen Burkes appeared before a judge and is charged with murder and aggravated assault of a family member. The 27-year-old is accused of shooting his mother multiple times and killing her fiance at this home in the 2300 block of Bentley Drive near FM 1093 early Friday morning.
And the defendant was found at home with a gun next to him. Also, it's alleged that the defendant made a written statement confessing to a shooting.
A source tells KPRC Stephen Burkes is the older brother of Delano Burkes. Delano's body was found floating in the Houston Ship Channel just days after he was reported missing last November.
Hopefully someone can help us.
Back in December, Burkes' mother, Karen Jeffley, along with family members and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, held a press conference demanding answers about what happened to Delano. Stephen is standing in the back wearing a bright-colored shirt. On Friday, police said they were investigating concerns that Burkes was acting strange before the shooting. Now detectives are working to figure out what happened.
We don't know exactly how it occurred or what occurred, but we do believe he is the one that did the shooting and shot his mother and then shot the male and the mother, not sure who in what order.
A judge set bond at $1 million. If bond is made, Burkes will be on house arrest and he cannot possess any drugs or weapons. Reporting from downtown, I'm Rochelle Turner, KPRC 2 News.
Yeah, that's right. Stephen Burkes, the eldest brother of Delano Burkes, has just been arrested and charged with murder. He murdered his mother's fiance and he shot his mother multiple times. This is insane. Now, Stephen Burkes is being held on $1 million bond, so he's locked away, and this is a crazy turn in this case. Now, I'm sure it's going to be investigated whether Stephen had anything to do with his brother Delano's missing, his being missing, and eventually his death. So that's still to be investigated. But Karen Jeffley, the mother of both these boys, is now in hospital fighting for her life. Now, the congresswoman who actually stood beside Karen Jeffley during the press conference for the missing Delano actually went to visit her and said that Karen was able to speak with her and told her that the stress of life is what most likely caused her son to snap, and the stress of life and the stress of everything going on caused him to snap and shoot her multiple times and kill her fiance. This is crazy. What he did was insane, and I think she is just she lost one son and she doesn't want to lose another one, and she's covering, she's not in speaking with a a good sense of what actually just happened. She's probably in denial of what just happened, but what he did was insane, and the stress of life is no excuse for what he did. So this is a crazy turn in this case, guys. Crazy turn in this case. We will continue and find out more about this case and find out, what is what we will keep you guys in the loop on new developments, any new developments. So hit the notification bell and so you guys can be informed of any new developments. And what I want to do is I want to leave you guys with a few clips of other missing men. Now, Delano's case is not an isolated one. It's crazy, but there have been a lot of missing men who have actually turned up dead. Some have turned up dead, some have not turned up. From the Houston area, which is bizarre. But I'll leave a few clips of these men and their stories, and very short clips, but it's something to think about, something that makes you say, And with that, we will see you guys in the next video, so stay tuned. We will update you guys as we get updates on this case, so please stay tuned for more updates. Alright guys, until the next video, peace.
Well, 10 days have passed since anyone has seen 35-year-old Daniel Brown. The Houston Police Department says he was last seen here on the 5000 block of Washington Avenue, which happens to be a very busy area. We spoke to close friends, as you mentioned. They say some of the information they're getting just isn't adding up. This is Daniel Brown. The 35-year-old, described by friends as a family man, has been missing since January 25th.
Daniel's a friend, he's a brother, he's a son, he's a father of 3. Good guy.
Close friends Dion and Daryl Brown say it's unlike the father of 3 to just go missing or not reach out to family and friends. It's for that reason they believe he might be in trouble.
Daniel, from my standpoint, is always the individual that's the life of the party. He's a performer, he's an aspiring artist, and he's just present in the city, so his network is quite vast. So to say that we haven't heard from him in 10 days is strikingly odd.
Houston police say Daniel was last seen wearing a green tracksuit. Brown's mother telling KPRC his cell phone was found in the possession of a homeless man. His car also found by the family.
He was supposedly dropped off on Washington. The car was found in 3rd Ward.
The Brown brothers are now asking anyone with information to come forward and help bring Daniel home.
I just ask that if you have any information, you bring it forward, you know. We're missing a good person, you know, one of the city's best.
And if you have any information on Daniel Brown or his whereabouts, you're asked to call the Houston Police Department's Missing Persons Division. That number 832-394-1840. We're live in the Washington Corridor area. Bill Barajas, KPRC 2 News.
First at 5, breaking news to a story we have been following since Saturday. Deputies confirm they have found the body of a 22-year-old man who went missing at Canyon Lake over the weekend. Amir Ali is from Houston. His family says he was camping with friends when he told them he was going for a walk. He never returned, and his family says his clothes and phone were found. Blue Diver Search and Recovery Team says his body was found in Canyon Lake around 2 this afternoon near Potters Creek Park. There's no word yet on what may have led to his death.
With his outsized sense of humor, Taylor Young thrived on making people smile. Now his friends and family are figuring out how they'll get by without him.
He's really the most selfless human being I've ever known. Yeah, it just makes no sense that anybody would want to do this to him. I can't even wrap my head around it.
Police confirming late Monday, Young's body was found 250 miles away in Dallas. His silver Honda Civic abandoned in this parking lot, towed in mid-January to an impound lot. The remains found in the trunk several days later on January 19th. His family notified this weekend after the identification.
And it's just heartbreaking for me
to wonder, why would someone want to hurt him?
The 25-year-old disappeared December 9th. Surveillance footage showing his car pulling up to this ATM in Houston during his lunch break. His mother and girlfriend later using a tracking app to locate his cell phone in bushes next to the ATM.
Even though we found his cell phone at the time, it was locked, and so the police have the phone, and by being an investigation, they're not releasing any information like what they found on the phone just yet.
Police are not saying whether the bank cameras showed anyone else in Taylor's car at the time. As the case grabbed national attention, even musician Cardi B posted a plea for information on Instagram. Searches of the neighborhood surrounding the bank turning up nothing.
I no longer believe that this is a random act of violence. I believe it's someone who's close to Taylor and who knows Taylor.
The family now seeking more answers from Taylor's girlfriend, a relationship which friends say Taylor was trying to end.
I just know that she would give the guy problems because he was planning on breaking up with the girl anyway. He was trying to get out of the relationship.
His family now turning to faith and law enforcement in hopes of getting justice for Taylor.
I know that he's in God's hands, and God's going to take care of the rest, and he's going to get them.
Tonight, a family is desperately looking for a father who hasn't been seen since Friday.
Yeah, he and his family came to Houston to get life-saving medical treatment for their baby boy. But the dad disappeared after going for a walk along the bayou. Now, Texas EquiSearch and Houston police are involved. Marcelino Benito talks to the family. What are they telling you, Marcelino?
Glenn and Mia, this family was here in Houston so their baby boy could get a liver transplant at Texas Children's Hospital. That surgery had gone smoothly, but now Dad is missing, and this family is fearing the worst.
This is the most unreal thing.
Tonight, Shannon Foster wants you to take a good look at her nephew Ridge Cole's picture.
We really, really are desperate to find Ridge. We need him back.
The 28-year-old was staying with his wife and baby boy River at Ronald McDonald House in the Med Center. His son recovering from a high-stakes surgery.
He would never disappear and not let them know where he is at.
On Friday night, family says Ridge went out for a walk and a smoke on the bayou. By 10 p.m., his wife knew something was wrong.
Texting and phone calls were no longer being received or responded to.
His phone, satchel, and one shoe found on the banks of the bayou.
We think he got too close and he tripped and he fell into that water.
Texas EquiSearch has already scoured 4.7 miles of Bray's Bayou, even used side-scan sonar to look underwater, but found nothing yet. Weather shut down search efforts for the day.
Our heart goes out to this family. They already were having a terrible experience with their baby with a liver transplant, and now this.
Tomorrow, they plan to resume looking.
I have faith.
Ridge's family holding on to hope.
If we don't have hope, we have nothing. We need the public's help. Please take a moment just to look at his face, see if you've recognized and seen him down in the medical area.
Texas EquiSearch tells us HPD has asked them to send up drones into the air and more volunteers out on ATVs to search for Ridge. We're told they may even send robots underwater into those drainage pipes in Bray's Bayou. Back to you.